What's up, guys? How you doing? So today we got an arm wrestling day. Arm wrestling training day, baby. Yes. And look how tight my shirts are getting. These shirts are starting to get freaking tight on me. So we got an arm wrestling training block. Um, we're doing supination, side pressure, and tricep press strength. Arm wrestling training day. Here we go. We're going to strengthen our bones, strengthen our tendons, and the arm wrestling muscles that we need. All right, let's get started. It's already set up. So we're set. Here we go. Now, I always start off with supination. We need a lighter band. Oh, we need to lighten this up. That's a working set right there. That's not a warm-up set. Resistance level. Take them two off. Just the single heavy band. And that's about right. Okay, right there. $30. One, two, three, 4, 5, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. See how I'm bringing it in. It's across the underside of my thumb, and I'm supinating it. We start off with that. Then we do a little bit of side pressure. Straight side pressure. All right, we're just gonna move it a little bit. 25. Now, tricep. We're going through all of the angles for the warm-up. So everything that we're going to be training, we're going to do a set of high reps for that angle. So now it's this angle. Press in, tricep. $25. Another 25. So supination, side pressure, then tricep. You see how it slowly gets further and further on the inside. So now we gotta up it. We're gonna add on. We're gonna do just the 2 heavier bands. And just so you know, this is an actual arm wrestling training strap. So it's a very simple device. It's just the simple looped nylon strap attached to a little loop here. Well, to answer your question, I'm going to call you Crub. I'm going to call you Crub. All right, Crub. So basically, we doing a combination of different things. These are resistance bands. So I do a lot of mixed types of training. I add in not free weights, but I do add in weight using weighted vests, backpacks loaded with stuff. So I like load up a backpack. I have a 50-pound vest, and I also have this new setup here for squats. If you haven't seen already, my squat day, we just did that the other day. This is my new squat system for at home. So this is a resistance band bar. It can handle up to about 500 pounds. I had to modify it and add these straps with carabiners. The bands do loop to the bar, but it's too short of a distance to get inside. If you loop the band directly to the anchors to the bar, you can't get inside of it to do squats. You could do deadlifts. You can have it low to the ground and you can pull it and do deadlifts, but there's no way you can get inside of it. Well, I have modified it so that I can get inside of it with these Work Pro straps. That's a carabiner. That's actually a rock climbing carabiner. These are not for this. These straps are for tying down boats and heavy ass equipment. It's for tying that shit down. They're just some Work Pro straps. Super strong, can handle like maximum of like 5,000 pounds per strap. So they're not going to break. The bar is going to break first. So we use resistance band tension. We use the weighted backpack. This is about 35, 36 pounds. And then for more weight, we have a 50-pound vest. 50-pound. So we don't have free weights. We don't have any dumbbells. And we do not have any barbell weight. We have all band tension. Band tension like this. It wasn't snagging. Band tension. Lots of them. So I have a shit ton of bands. We have pull-up assist bands, which is like the big rubber band kind of a band. It's like a big ass rubber band. And then we have the tubular bands with handles, specially designed for the handles. Okay. We have a lot of all of them. So that's what we do. Let's get into our working sets now. We're doing supination. Supination first. Then side pressure curls. Oh, that's heavy. Okay. It's just short pulses. We don't do full range. Not on arm wrestling training days. Everything is about small micro movements. Pulses. Think pulses, not full range. Pulses of explosive force. That's what we're basically creating. No. I haven't been to the gym in at least 4 years. And before that, I had lost everything. I lost all my gains. So I lost all my muscle. And I had to gain it all back. Because I hit like a rock bottom point in my life where Basically had no job, no money, no food, and people were just helping me out, giving me food and buying me food. But that was not a good point in my life. My body weight dropped down to like 148 pounds. I appreciate that. Well, we still have the intensity. So that's really what's key. It's not about what weight you use, it's about the tension you're creating with it. So it doesn't matter whether it's coming from a barbell with free weights or a dumbbell with free dumbbells or band tension. If you create enough tension, it doesn't matter what the weight is or how that weight's created. We're just doing tens and we're not going to failure. These blocks are much different than our standard training days, much different. So, this is a very specialized type of training. It's not for your average guy who just wants to build a generally nice looking physique. This is going to build power, this is going to build bone strength and tendon strength like you wouldn't believe. You can see how I'm crossing my arm over and I'm trying to go to the other shoulder and touch my other shoulder, right? Well, that creates a lot of force on the bones, stresses on the bones, rotational forces on the bone. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to bring my arm over to this shoulder and try to touch this shoulder. And what that does is the moment I go out of center line, so this is center line, or even just under the chin would be center line, like this. The moment I start to pull my arm over and start to get over here, it creates a lot of stresses on this bone, rotational forces. So it's twisting the bone like this, twisting. And you got to think of it as like this: how a Muay Thai fighter trains. A Muay Thai fighter, when they kick trees and they train that bone, they constantly create small fractures in the bone, and then that bone heals over. And mortar, basically bone mortar, fills in all the cracks. And now you have like these spider web like bone structures going all throughout the bone. That creates a lot of strength in the bone. So that's why Muay Thai fighters can kick metal poles, trees, without breaking their shin, without breaking their leg. And that's what we're doing. We're creating small, tiny little micro fractures in this bone here and in the wrists by going to the side and creating those rotational forces. It's going to strengthen the bones. It's going to make you stronger in arm wrestling. So this is like an arm wrestling training. It's going to make you stronger in grappling sports. It's going to make you stronger in striking sports because you're going to have a lot of bone strength. And if you train your hands and your fists on top of it and train your knuckles for fighting, you're going to have a lot of options. You're going to have a lot of striking power and grappling power because we're constantly training our grip and our strength in our fingers on top of this. So this is about bone and tendon strength right here. A little bit of muscular strength in the muscles that are being used to apply the force, but it's really a lot of tendon and bone strength. So this is a lot of band tension. I don't have to go very far. And I hit a sticking point that I can't go beyond. I can't touch my shoulder with this tension. So it's a lot of tension. So as I bring it over, it stops to that right there. For work, what do I do for work? I actually work in a fast food place, but it's just a stepping stone for right now. Um, Before that, I did a lot of door dashing, but my car went up. It was just too much wear and tear on the vehicle. And before that, I was working in a like production factory environment type of work. So it's doing a lot of like production work and stuff like that. But that was years ago. I'm working on becoming a personal trainer right now, so I'm working on my certification as we speak. So, gonna move out of the fast food environment and move into transition into personal training, whether it be online personal training or in person, or at a gym or fitness studio. So, I've really been tracking my rest periods. I haven't really been tracking any of my rest periods, but that's all right. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to get it ready for the next few workouts here. We're only supposed to be taking about a 2-minute rest. And as I did one arm, I was alternating to the next, and then I was talking. So we're probably close to 2 minutes. So we got one more set for the supination per side. And then we're going to move the side pressure curls. Here we go. All right. Now we're going to do side pressure curls. It's a switch up in grip. So instead of it going under the hand, across the thumb like that, we're just going to loop it straight over. All right, like that. And we're just going to curl it to the opposite shoulder. So I'm debating whether I should take a 5-minute rest. I think I will. Five minutes is a long rest. But I do this, I take long rests between exercises. So what I do is I'll do 4 sets of an exercise, and in between sets, that's a 2-minute rest. Then when we're finished with that exercise, so all 4 sets are completed, we take a 5-minute rest before moving to the next exercise. What that does is it allows your nervous system to recover, it allows your endurance to come back and your strength to come back so that you can push harder on the next series of sets on that next exercise. Because I'm not trying to my goal is to build strength above all things else. So above endurance, above hypertrophy, above building muscle, which is hypertrophy. Okay. I want to build pure strength. My goal is more pure strength focused than hypertrophy. So there's some hypertrophy in there because we're going to get size. We're going to build muscle. We're going to get size. But it's not size focused, it's focused on strength. Strength, power, explosiveness, and size is more secondary to that. Okay. And then endurance is even maybe in a third spot below hypertrophy. So it's strength, hypertrophy, and endurance. Okay. Naturally, endurance is going to be a thing because if you're training at all, if you're just training, okay, you're going to build some endurance. Okay. You're not endurance focused because you're training those fast twitch muscles, not the slow twitch. Okay. Because you're training those fast twitch muscles, those are the explosive muscles, those are the powerful muscles. Okay. And that's what we're focused on. We're focused on strength, power, and explosiveness, not hypertrophy, not building muscle. Although that's a secondary, that's not our focus. Just keep that in mind when we do this kind of training, okay? You will be very strong for your body weight. So, whatever weight you're at, you're going to be very strong in that body weight category. Oh, yeah, we got to do side pressure curls. So, here we go. We're almost at our 5 minutes right here. It's time to get it. And this is a hard band. Okay. So you can see how the tension doesn't start even here. I'm relaxed here. So this is a relaxed spot. The moment I start to torque it in, that's when the attention is being applied. But it's a lot of tension, so I don't have to go very far at all. That's it. That's all we're doing. We're doing sets of 10. So a side pressure curl is like this. We're curling it, but we're bringing it to the opposite shoulder. That creates the side pressure forces that we need to strengthen up. About 1:20. So that's the first set. We got 3 sets to go. All right. Oh, let's get it. So about right here. Just pull it in a little bit. Girl. Okay. That's it. 10 maximum effort. Set 2 down. 2 more sets to go. But we get them forearm gains, boy. Forearm gains. Yeah, I love this shit. This builds up deep intramuscular and tendon strength. It's a very deep soreness that you experience afterwards, and it takes longer for you to recover. So that's why I have, after the arm wrestling training block, we rest for 72 hours. So that's 3 days we rest for. We take an extra day of rest after these 2 blocks. We'll take an extra 3 days before hitting the same muscles again. We need the extra day of rest because we're training the tendons on these days a lot more, and the bones too. Bones and tendons take longer to recover than muscles. Just keep that in mind. Let's get it. Create a little bit of tension, and then we bring this hand to the shoulder. That's it. Fast, explosive pulses of force. Okay? Think maximum effort. So even though we're doing 10 reps, it's 10 maximum effort reps because we hit a sticking point. That's the great thing about bands. Band tension. Band tension tends to lock out on you. And that means even though it's easier here, the more you stretch it, it becomes immensely more tension and harder to finish the rep. So actually with these bands, these bands have a very short maximum range. Some of my other bands have a longer stretch. They can stretch further, but these bands have a very short range of motion for some reason. So it's actually very good for reaching that sticking point. Like if you want to hit that sticking point on purpose, which is really good for maximum effort training. So even though we're doing 10 reps, we're still max effort on each rep is completely max effort. Because I hit a point where I can't go any further. It just stops me in my tracks, right? So, and I'm pushing as hard as I can into that. We're only going to take another 30, 40 seconds. Let's get it. Maximum effort. 10 reps, maximum effort. So that's what we're doing. Even though I'm doing 10 reps, I'm hitting a sticking point because of the band tension. As that band stretches, it becomes more forces being applied. So I hit a sticking point. Once I get to about right there, I can't go any further. So even though I'm doing 10 reps, I'm still doing 10 maximum effort reps. It's stopping me in my tracks and I'm pressing into it. The States. USA, baby. To answer your question. We're going to take another minute rest. So I'm just doing a side pressure curl. I'm trying to bring this hand over to this shoulder. I'm trying to touch this shoulder with this hand like that. That's creating a lot of rotational forces on the bone, the humerus bone here. It's also creating some internal forces on the elbow, but mostly on the inside of the bicep. Okay, inner bicep and this bone here. That's going to strengthen our bones. I actually feel it in my bones. I have like a dull ache. There's like a dull ache in my bone, and I don't get that when I train normally. When I do like my standard training, my 6-day split, that's push pull legs. I don't get that kind of ache. Not a deep bone like penetrating ache. I don't get that on those days, but I do when I do this. The USA, United States, America. Thanks for asking. Yeah. What about you? Country you from? All right, let's get that next set. So tension starts about right here. So the moment I pull back a little bit, tension starts here. And the moment I try to drag to the shoulder, it's going to be like ridiculous amount of tension. And I can't touch my shoulder. It's impossible for me right now. And that's all we're doing. India. I got you, India. Nice to meet you from India. Do you arm wrestle? Arm wrestling is pretty popular over there in India. I'm sure you probably know. I've seen some pretty good India-based teams. All right, so that's the third set down. One more to go with this, and then our 4 sets will be done with this exercise. Then we got to move to pure side pressure. We're going to do pure side pressure next. That means we're going to go to the side, and we're going to drag it out, and we're just going to let that torque on our arm. Whatever you said, I'll assume it's a nice thing. So what's up? You good?
No.
No? Hold on, hold on. I gotta end the stream. Hang on, I'll be back.